Election 2016, people watching the GOP convention in Cleveland are talking about two things: the way Donald Trump made his first appearance in the hall, and for some, the words his wife Melania Trump spoke during her speech last night.
Both have generated a lot of buzz, but for different reasons. News 4 Jack's political reporter Kent Justice is joining us live from Cleveland, where conventioneers are weighing in on accusations Mrs. Trump plagiarized parts of her speech from a convention speech Michelle Obama delivered 8 years ago. But Kent, tell us first about this protest going on behind you.
Yeah, so far it seems to be a pretty peaceful demonstration, and we are about 2 blocks away. I'll step out of the way so we can show you a little bit more. In between us and the demonstrators for Black Lives Matter, however, more than a few hundred police officers. Essentially 15 minutes ago, while we were here on the curb outside a building getting ready to do a live shot for you and talk about this story I'll show you in a moment, we saw a lot of commotion down there, and the protesters who seem to be turning a corner here at Chester and East 9th in downtown Cleveland. And pretty soon we saw dozens of police officers at a time coming. And what I'll tell you is they weren't just Cleveland police officers. They were from Louisville, Kentucky, from Fort Worth, Texas, from Michigan, the state police, all over. And in this time, it's hard to tell because a lot of them come by on bikes. Some of them come running by. Some of them come by on horseback, but we've seen well over 200. I'm guessing it's probably close to 300 police officers converge on the area just from this side of where that protest is. Again, we don't know of any injuries or violence or anything like that. At times it was loud, but it sure seemed like having the police in the area and showing their presence really might have helped things. So let's go back to those two things that people were talking about after the first night of the Republican National Convention here in Cleveland. Tom and Mary, most Republicans I talked to didn't really want to talk about what happened with Melania Trump's speech. Donald Trump's campaign manager, for instance, said, hey, there was not plagiarism involved, really. It was just common words and phrases, common themes. So the man on Trump's team that we spoke to this morning, he's seen his own plagiarism controversy.
I don't think we need to be making it. We are always trying to create problems. Why don't we look at the positive aspects?
Ben Carson, the former candidate who now stumps for Donald Trump, didn't want to talk about claims that Melania Trump's speech to the Republican National Convention was plagiarized in parts. But like Paul Manafort, the Trump campaign manager, Carson says the words that seemed copied only reflect common phrases and themes.
I think what we should be thinking about is if Melania's speech is similar to Michelle Obama's speech, that should make us all very happy, because we should be saying that whether we're Democrats or Republicans, we share the same values. That's what we should be talking about, not trying to make it into a controversy.
Carson spoke to the Florida delegation at a breakfast event hosted by Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam Tuesday. Carson apologized last year about plagiarism discovered in his 2012 book. Reporters asked Carson if Melania should apologize too. His answers went back to the notion of shared values.
I don't think that they were plagiarized. I think there are general principles that are very valuable to America. And of course, to express those principles, you're going to use similar language. Again, I think we spend way too much time trying to create controversy. And if we spent this equal amount of time trying to promote harmony, I think we'd be a much stronger country.
The other buzz from the convention came regarding Donald Trump's entrance. It was theatrical, entertaining, and energizing for Republicans who seemed to take note of the break from tradition.
I thought it was awesome, you know, the way he came in. You know, I got to think there's a little bit of Hollywood there, and that was good. But the way he came in and came out and introduced his wife, I thought it was perfect.
It was an exciting moment in time. It broke from tradition, but it sent that message that said, you guys get ready, because the regular agenda will not be the agenda of this convention. And that's exactly what we need right now, Ken. Just interject something that's different and enthusiasm and having fun.
So the theme for night one of the RNC was Make America Safe Again. Tonight's theme, as the speeches begin, is Make America Work Again. And Ben Carson, who you just heard from there, he's one of the keynote speakers on the platform tonight, along with Donald Trump Jr., U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito, Kimberly Brown, and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan. Live in Cleveland, Kent Justice, Channel 4, the local station.
Can you describe for us the huge police presence there in Cleveland? You were in Tampa 4 years ago for the Republican convention in 2012. Are there other security changes that you're experiencing, you're seeing in Cleveland that you did not see in Tampa 4 years ago?
Well, I think it's a great question. One of the things that we knew about Tampa was that some private security forces were being brought in, and you're going to hear some sirens here in a moment. This is the first time we've seen police officers on motorcycles. Matt, I'm going to step out of the way here. Again, this looks like State Highway Patrol for the state of Ohio coming through here. And you see the gates in between us and these motorcycle officers that are coming through. There are lots and lots of different places where these gates are up to allow some traffic to come through. Pedestrians can cross at certain points, but certainly for us as members of the media, before we get really close to Quicken Loans Arena, we're going to have to go through a security sweep by the Secret Service. In Tampa 4 years ago, Tom, yes, Secret Service was involved, but there was not the level, the magnitude of the sheer numbers that we see of law enforcement here in the city of Cleveland. Just saw horseback or mounted officers come by a moment ago from the city of Columbus as well. So we know that Cleveland has pulled together lots and lots of different people who are helping with security and law enforcement here for the RNC. Tom.
Kent Justice reporting live from Cleveland. Thank you, Kent.